Hello there, and you're welcome. And thank you for joining me here today. Good to hear, excuse me, a little bit of a croaky throat. I've been fighting some kind of upper respiratory infection. Not COVID, not strep, but excuse me. You can hear it in my voice today. So let me just have a sip of my tea and then we'll jump right in. This is such an important topic today. So thank you for joining me. Okay. And if you're on live with me, please pop in and say hi. And I want to start with a question that I think is hopefully going to make you start thinking a little differently about staying on track with healthy eating. Okay. I know that this is something that is a big struggle for so many. And it's a question I get asked all the time. Karen, I know what I'm supposed to do, but how come I can't do it? How come I'm not staying on track? So we're going to be diving into that today. I'm going to be sharing my number one key strategy to staying on track, not just with healthy eating, but with all of the habits that you want to be embracing, especially after a breast cancer journey, especially if you've been diagnosed with maybe a BRCA genetic mutation or something that's increasing your risk factors. And suddenly, the odds are higher now. It's just like the repercussions of not eating healthy are higher than they were before, right? So if you're on, pop in, say hi. And let me start off, like I said, with a question. And by the way, if we haven't yet met, my name is Karen Del Maestro. I'm your health and transformation coach, and I specialize in working with breast cancer survivors to help them get back their get up and go, to get back their energy, their health, and start to create a life that fits who you are today, not who you were back then, because we change. That's not a bad thing. Okay. So let me ask you this, because I was astounded when I heard this. Did you know that an airplane is off course 80% of the time, and yet it still arrives at its destination? Let me repeat that. An airplane is off course 80% of the time, and yet they still arrive at their destination. Keep that in mind. It is relevant to what we are talking about today. Okay. We're going to be talking about, as I said, the number one key to staying on track with healthy eating. Apologize for the croaky throat. Been battling it for almost a week now. So I heard this fact when I was on a training the other day with Tony Robbins. And many of you may have heard of him, huge, like, motivational guru. And he shared this story. And it really resonated with me in how, because obviously, big part of what I do as a coach is to help you stay on track with these healthy habits so that you're not feeling like it's an uphill battle all the time. And it resonated with me because think of it like this, right? The pilot gets into the airplane, sets the destination, and, autopilot actually flies most of the time. And the airplane is either pulled or pushed off course frequently with wind, with weather, but the pilot's job is to pull that airplane back on course so that it arrives at its destination. Now, it's not just one time off course and pulling it back on course, right? If the airplane is off course 80% of the time, you can imagine it's not start at this destination, like the map on the airplane, right? It shows this is where you started, this is where you're going. And it's a beautiful line. Well, in reality, that's not what happens. The airplane is going, the wind pushes it off course, the pilot adjusts it back onto course. Hmm. So, how is this relevant to what we're talking about today? I think so often when we think about healthy eating or moving our body, managing our stress, any of the things that we think about when it comes to a healthy lifestyle, that's like this much of it. Trust me, it's very deep and buried, but it makes you wonder, right? Is it about being perfectly on course all of the time, which I think so often we try to do? Or is it about our ability to pull ourselves back on course when we've been pushed off? Interesting, right? So if you're joining us live, pop in and say hi. Before we dive into this more, yeah, we're going to be diving in, don't worry. Hey, Susan. Susan's coming in from Ohio. We've got another Facebook user coming in from Toronto, Canada. Jean's here. Hey, Jean, coming in from Providence, Rhode Island. Good to see you. Great. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And, you know, this is an important topic, right? And feel free to let me know in the chat what's hard for you when it comes to healthy eating. Where do you struggle with it? So I want you to keep in mind, right, that picture of that pilot of that airplane, setting it where he knows where he's starting, setting a really specific destination where he's going. And then in between, it's this journey where he's on course, off course, on course, off course. Now, number one, do you think he's beating himself up for being off course? Nope. But do we? Oh, yeah. We get really good, right, at beating ourselves up for not being perfect, for not staying on course, for not doing what we know we should be doing, should being a judgment word. Okay. So I want you to really think of this as I go through these tips today from a place of observation and curiosity, please. Not from judgment, not from saying to yourself, "Oh, I should have had this figured out already." No, no. And I'll tell you why, because what you're about to learn today, you're going to learn it probably for the first time, right? My approach is a little different, as you may have noticed if you've been in my circle for a while, but it works. And after 20 plus years working in health and wellness, I can tell you that it works. So if you've ever been on a diet, think about it this way, right? You want to be perfect. You want to eat perfectly. But there are those days where you're craving chocolate or you want those potato chips. And then you can't handle the deprivation. So you give in and you go for the chocolate and then you throw in the towel. No, I'm not judging. Okay. This is from a place of observation from women's behavior for 20 plus years. This is what we do. Okay. So you're not alone. And I want you to know that you're not failing. You're not failing. There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't learned how to do this properly yet. And I say yet because that's really important. So think about this, right? And I want you to think about, do you beat yourself up for not staying on track? Do you beat yourself up? Are you hard on yourself for not eating the way that you know that you should, especially if you want to be healthy after breast cancer, right? We get hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up. Yeah. Rhonda Joe's joining us. She got to log in. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. Somebody else is popping on and saying hi here. We're not quite sure who you are. We are going live using StreamYard, guys. Anybody that's watching and wants to join in our chat, if you're on Facebook, you just allow, just above this video, there's a little link that says allow StreamYard access to your name. And that lets me see who we're chatting with, which I love, because then if we're having a conversation, I'm not like just guessing. So I want you to think about the fact that healthy eating is actually not about the food. It's about our ability to put our needs first and pull ourselves back on track when we can fall off. So, like I was saying before, if you've been on a diet, you're craving the chocolate, we throw in the towel. We don't go back. It's like we failed. We've done it wrong. We're saying things like, you're not good enough. When are you ever going to be able to do this? You can't do this. We get so hard on ourselves. It doesn't work. Did you know the statistic is that 98% of women who lose weight on a diet gain it back and more within 2 years? 98%. Diets don't work. And that's because they require perfection. Perfection doesn't work. When we're on a diet, we're living in deprivation. That's not where we're meant to live as human beings. We are here on this earth to enjoy our life. Deprivation doesn't feel good. So let's go through some of these tips to help you stay on track, right? How are we actually going to do this? So the first thing is, we were talking about the pilot having this clear destination. Where is he going? And this is the step that I see so many people missing, right? We might just say, well, I want to lose weight. I want to feel good in my clothes. I want to feel better about me, when I look in the mirror. And yes, those are real reasons. But our why, the thing that is going to pull us back on track, like that pilot knows he has to get to that destination. It's not, he knows that's where he's got to go. We have to know why we want to eat healthy, like really why. Now, for those of you like me who are breast cancer survivors or have genetic mutations, my why for embracing all of my healthy habits is because the promise that I made to my kids and my husband. And that was to do everything in my power that I can to not get this disease again. It's a pretty serious promise. Now, if you know anything about me, if you've been in my circle for a while, you know that I don't say things that I don't mean. So if I'm making a promise to my nearest and dearest, you know very well that I'm doing everything I can to stay on track and do what I need to do. Does that mean that I'm perfect? No. And you don't need to be perfect either. But it means that the thing that makes us able to be more consistent is the ability to pull ourselves back on track. And the first part of that is why. Why did you fight breast cancer? What was it? Because I know that when we're diagnosed, there's a decision that happens, sometimes up here, sometimes here in our heart. We often don't even verbalize it. But we decide to fight. We decide to be here. We decide that we're going to do what we can. And as we are making that decision, that crucial decision, there's something in our mind and in our heart that is driving that decision. What did you fight for? You didn't fight to just feel good in your clothes. It's a bigger why, right? Was it maybe to think of you making homemade chocolate chip cookies in the kitchen with your grandkids, hearing them giggle as they're trying to lick the bowl? And then they're sitting with you snuggled up and you're reading them a story, waiting for the cookies to cook, and you're smelling them. That's a why that would pull me. And I'm expecting my first grandchild she's due within the next 3 weeks. So super exciting. Actually, next month, sorry. Super exciting. But that why is so specific. So maybe your why is to travel to Italy. Maybe that's something you've always wanted to do with a friend, with a significant other. Envisioning yourself being energetic and healthy and vibrant and laughing. The whys that pull us back on track are the big, big, big things. So think about your why. Because just like the wind and the weather blows that aeroplane off course, life blows us off course. I don't need to tell you, you know better than anybody. Life is always going to happen. We can't control that. What we get to control is how we pull ourselves back on course to keep towards our destination, our why, the thing that we really, really want and envision in this life. So think about that why, right? It's a step that we miss most of the time, but it needs to be heartfelt, it needs to be big, and it needs to pull you back on course when life is trying to push you in every other direction. Okay. Now, something else that I think is really important to bring up, our why can't be doing something that you don't want to do. So let me kind of maybe put that a little bit better here. So, for instance, if you've ever looked online or you've asked your doctor, how should I eat after breast cancer? And everything in the literature says go plant based or vegan, and that's the best thing for you to do. Here's the thing, is that going to pull you back on course if you're a juicy burger lover? No, because you've already told yourself, you've already given yourself a red light. I don't want to be vegan. I want my burger. So when we look at this methodology of 80% of the time being on course, eating healthy, eating more plant-based, right? Which I highly recommend. And that can be literally adding more fruits and vegetables into what you're already doing. And 20% of the time, you're having your chocolate or your chips or your wine or your burger, but you're not beating yourself up afterwards. To me, healthy eating is not stressful because it's something that you really, really want to do because you're looking at your why. And when you can prioritize your why, when you can prioritize what you want and need to be healthy and energized, that's what pulls you back on track. And you're able to say, no, I'm worth it. I want it. And I want that really badly. I want to be here for my kids and my grandkids. I want to be able to run around the park with them and swim with them, make homemade chocolate chip cookies with them. I want those things. I want to be able to go to the Great Barrier Reef with my husband and scuba dive. I want those things. What do you want? Why are you here? Why did you fight? What do you want? That will pull you on track. See, it's not about the food. It's about how we think about ourselves. It's a big shift from what we're taught in magazines or on TV. But if you've ever been on a diet, you know it doesn't work. Because I can guarantee you, if you've been on one diet, you've more than likely been on 5 or more. Again, not from a place of judgment, but from observation of working with hundreds of women, maybe thousands within the past 20 years. It doesn't work. So why not try a different approach and try something that may work for you really well? What are we thinking about this, guys? Have we got any light bulb moments here If we got any realizations, let me know in the chat. Do you have any questions? Are you surprised at what the key to staying on track really is? Now, I know people say to me, well, what about when we're traveling, Karen, or we're at somebody else's house, or we're eating out? Well, here's the thing. First of all, if I can do it, so can you. It's that simple. I'm not a superhero. It's all about the choices that we make. And most airports, I mean, I've been gluten free for over 12 years now. Most airports these days have some pretty healthy options. But I'll tell you what, I always travel with food. I bring food with me. I bring food with me. Can we make healthy choices when we're in restaurants? Of course we can. Are they going to be the most exciting? Maybe not. But it depends. Is this part of, if you're looking at your week as an 80-20 split, 80% on track, 20%, I'm not going to say off track because you're not, just enjoying and maybe indulging a little. Doesn't mean that we throw it all out the window. But we know that deprivation doesn't work. If we deprive ourselves of something, if you say, okay, no chocolate for you, what do you want more than ever? Chocolate. It's just the way our mind works. And so deprivation does not work. Telling yourself you cannot have does not work because we want it more than anything. Jean's saying, yes, it's making sense. Good, good. I hope that this is landing. Okay, so again, think of yourself as the pilot of your life. You are the pilot of your life. You are driving the plane. Your body is the plane. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Don't live in deprivation. Don't tell yourself that you have to be one thing or another. You don't. It's about moderation, living in that 80-20. 80% of the time you're eating those healthy foods. You're boosting up those fruits and veggies. If you're eating animal protein, it's grass-fed, pasture-raised, organic, good quality, wild-caught fish, right? Good quality animal protein is super important for us as breast cancer survivors. We don't want those hormones and antibiotics and things that are put into those animals. So the key here is knowing what you want, what's your why. And I encourage you to spend some time when we get off this call today, just figure that out. Write it down. Maybe record a voice memo on your phone. What's your why? Make it big. Make it powerful. Make it something you really, really want. Don't stop yourself. Don't think about the logistics. Don't think about, but I need time or money or this or that. No, 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 no. Nope, nope. None of that. Just what do you want in your heart of hearts? What's the vision that lights you up, that makes you excited, that is going to pull you back on course when life tries to push you off? Because it will. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. This is just the way it goes. And I'm always honest. And I think that, as we know, life is a roller coaster ride, and it's not always easy. There's ups, there's downs, there's twists, there's turns. And it's our ability to prioritize what we need and want and pull ourselves back on track that makes the difference. We will be pushed off track, just like that airplane is off course 80% of the time. But that pilot pulls it back. Right? It pulls it back. Yeah. And so, what is it that is going to give you, and it's so individual, what's going to give you the incentive to come back on track? Is it like me, where you want to do everything you can to lower your risk of getting sick again? That's a big one. It's a pretty big why, right? To not want to get this disease again. Maybe you have an autoimmune and you want to reduce inflammation. right? Stay away from flare ups at gym. Yeah. So few of you are realizing that the why is difficult, right? So if you've struggled to stay on track, this is why. Because you don't know and you're not clear on your why yet. And I'll tell you why that often is, because we haven't been even thinking about our life and ourselves because we're so focused on helping everybody else. Because when we are people pleasers and when we focus on caring for everybody else first, we're not thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about our why. And when we don't know that, when somebody else is saying, but I don't want to eat broccoli, or I don't want that, what do? We make the meal that the other person wants, not what we want, because we're trying to make them happy. We don't want to let them do. But where are you in this picture? Where's what you want? Where's your health? How much does that matter? Rhonda's sharing that she has an autoimmune and watching what she eats helps her. Yeah, absolutely. It's massive when it comes to autoimmune disease. Massive. Because we need to be reducing that inflammation. And it's not just what we eat. Like I said, this is the key to all healthy habits. This is what lets the healthy habits stick. This is how we stay on track. Is our ability to pull ourselves back on. And that means that we have to stop being a people pleaser. That means that we have to prioritize ourselves first. And that being said, if you have not yet registered for my free masterclass tomorrow, stop being a people pleaser and restore your energy, your health, and your self confidence, please do so. I'll make sure that that link is wherever you are watching this video. It's tomorrow, Tuesday, August 23rd at 7 p.m. Hopefully, I'm still going to have a voice. But this is why it's so important. We've got to stop the people pleasing. We've got to take care of ourselves. So Jean's sharing that she wants to be here for her elderly mother, husband, and 8 grandkids. Yeah. So Jean, I'm going to invite you to paint that picture even more. What are you doing with those grandkids? I want you to paint a picture that truly excites you and lights you up. So just saying that we want to be here for our family is one thing. Yeah, get it? Totally. Right? We all do. But what is it in your vision upon visions? What do you want to be doing with those grandkids? Paint yourself a picture. Think about all of your senses being involved. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? Are you hearing them giggle and laugh as they play tag in the yard? Are you watching just the joy on all their faces? Are you feeling the warmth as they come sit on your lap and say, Grandma, can you read me a story? Yeah. But the why is not just them. The why, and I hope you can see, right, when we paint the story, the why, it's just so much more appealing. We're in it. Oh, so you're Nana. Okay, so Jean is Nana. They're not saying grandma, they're saying Nana, can you read me a story? They curl up on your lap and you get to smell their hair and the warmth of them as they're melting, as they're falling asleep on your lap. That, do you see the difference? I hope so. From just, and I don't want to say just, from saying I want to be here for my mom, my husband, and my 8 grandkids. Great, get it. But Where's the warmth? Where's the intensity? Where's the pull that's really going to pull you? Yeah. So I'm seeing that this is landing a little bit with the people that are on live. If you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay and let me know. We really want to paint that picture. And I want you to sit with it in your head every single day as you are making your meal. This is the vision that comes up. You're hearing them, you're smelling them on your lap, you're feeling that feeling. Like sit into it because this is your vision, this is your life, this is what you get to create when you adopt these healthy eating habits. This is the step that we miss all the time. If we look at a diet, we're just looking at recipes on a plate and we're given a plan to follow. Okay, yeah, we can do it for a little bit, but the why is not there. It's not there. And so I really do urge you, if you have not yet signed up, sign up for this class tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how to start prioritizing you, right? So that we can get even clearer on that why. Plus, I'm actually going to be sharing my formula for how I stopped people pleasing. It's the formula that I teach in Thrivership School. I'm sharing a little bit about that tomorrow too, because I actually have a formula. Pretty crazy, but that's how much I've had to practice. Letting go of the people pleasing, putting myself first, being clear on my why, so that I do get to stay on track with healthy habits. That does not mean being perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. It's about progress. It's about being where you are today and making progress. It's not about perfection. We can never attain perfection, although we'll try. It's related to lots of old stories as kids and growing up. Feelings of not being good enough, feelings around relationship with food that we've been taught from childhood, all kinds of complex things. But the key here is discovering your why and then deciding that you are worthy of achieving it and doing what you need to do to pull yourself on track. This is why I focus on self care. This is why I focus on stopping you from putting yourself at the bottom of that list and putting yourself on the back burner and taking care of everybody else first. Because if you don't have the energy and the health and the self confidence to stand up for what you want, you're never going to be able to stay on track with healthy eating, with moving your body, managing your stress, or anything else. This, guys, is the number one key. It is the game changer. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. And it's what I really encourage you to spend some time doing. So again, I'm going to drop that link for you. And as we finish up today, any questions before we finish up? For those of you who don't know me yet, again, my name is Karen Del Maestro. I'm your health and transformation coach. You can find me over in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community, our amazing community filled with fabulous, fabulous people, all on this healthy living journey as we journey together. And again, thank you for watching. Any questions here, guys, before I finish up today? And definitely drink my tea, nurture my voice. So I'm all ready for this class tomorrow. Rhonda's asking if there'll be a replay. Yes, Rhonda, there will. So you still need to register. I am giving a very special bonus to those that will be on live. And that's a bonus you don't want to miss if you have trouble setting boundaries or saying no. So if you can be there, please be there. It's a special bonus for those that come on live. But yes, there will be a 48-hour replay of the masterclass. So register and you'll get a link to watch the replay if it doesn't work for you in your time zone. So for sure, there will be. or if you already have plans, of course. So, yep, 100% great question. But just click the link, save your spot. That's the only way you'll get the replay to the masterclass. Any other questions before we finish up today? Any aha moments? Did you think that the number one key was going to be different than it was? Just let me know, yes or no. Any surprises here today? I suspect, right? Because we always think it's about the food. It's about our relationship with the food. It's about our ability to prioritize what we need above anything else. And it's not selfish. That's the thing. Yeah, Rhonda's a little surprised. Here's the thing, guys. Imagine how much energy would you have if you were eating well? How much energy would you have if you were sleeping well? Managing your stress, less anxious, showing up in your life actually happy and enjoying it, right? You'd have more energy and everybody around you would be thrilled. Because instead of snapping at everybody because you're drained and you're sucked dry, right? You can have so much more energy to enjoy your life when you put yourself first. Trust me, I've done it. I see my clients do it, and it changes how we show up with every other relationship. But we've got to make this shift. Jean's saying it makes sense. She didn't know. Yeah, we don't know. It's not what's being, it's not what the diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so we're always being sold the next diet, but diets don't work. What works is this shift in your mindset that then serves you forever. This serves you forever, which is great, right? So, okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining me live. Any questions from anybody that's watching the replay, feel free to put them into the comments. I'll be getting back to them. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow night, Tuesday, 23rd of August, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And as Rhonda asked, there will be a replay for 48 hours, but you have to have signed up. So sign up for that first. Okay, thanks, Jean. Jean's saying she hopes I feel better. Me too. But I'll do my best and I will be there and hopefully not as croaky. I'm working on it. Lots of honey, doing all the things, my tea. Be going sitting outside in some humidity in a little while too. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Stop being a people pleaser. That is how we're going to get you on track with your healthy eating. Okay? Bye for now, and have a great day.